You pass your test by having a really good segment one instructor. Good instructors are very patient. We know driving, through my experience as being a state certified driving instructor, driving can be very stressful. So you need a patient instructor who's going to really take their time. He or she should be explaining information, helping you understand what's going on, so you can really understand what is the expectation when you're 16 and a half or when you're 17. Or if you're an older driver, not saying 20 is old, 20, 25, or if you're a driver who's in their 20s and you have a lot going on, maybe you have a child, you need someone who's really going to be patient and explain those things. Next, you need an instructor who's nice, who's not going to scream at you or yell at you when you make a mistake. We all make mistakes. Sometimes we don't use our blinker. It's a little bit better. I just took my sling off today. Hi, how are you? To let my shoulder rest. I'm probably going to have surgery, but thank you for asking. How you doing, Justin? So it's really important that you have a patient instructor who's not going to yell at you, who's going to teach you what is expected on the road test. I try to provide that as a service when I'm teaching my teens and adults. Here's what you're going to expect on a road test. Here is where you should be stopping behind the stop line. Here is a good parallel park. You line your car up, you reverse back, you cut it all the way to the right, then you turn back to the left. You should be 12 inches or less away from the curb. My job is to get you ready for that testing session, whether you're a teen, 18, 19, or a 20, 21, 22, 23, or in your 30s, 40s, or 50s. You want someone who's just going to be flexible and not yell at you when you make mistakes. Next, you want an instructor and even a road tester to give you directions in advance. Because if they give you directions at the last second, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to forget to use your blinker. You're going to go over speed, which is automatic failure. You're going to go under speed. You may get one warning, or they may terminate the test. Or if you're not sure of your lane positioning and you go over a curb or around a yellow light, that is automatic failure. So it's really important that you give your students, and we're all students of life, you give your students an opportunity to be safe and to give them directions in advance so they can process information. Good instructors don't make last minute decisions. That's frustrating and it's very dangerous for a new driver. A new driver is anyone who has not had their operator's license before and it's their first time going through this. If this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up. I want to continue. You don't want an instructor or road tester to give you last minute directions. That's scary, that's confusing, and it adds a lot of frustration because it's hard enough as a new driver who's trying to learn good speed control, lane positioning, to keep your mom and dad happy, to keep your significant other happy. Maybe you have a child or baby on the way, and there's a lot of things going on. You have to get your license, you have to get your permit, and you've got to pass that road test. You want an instructor who's going to make conversation with you. Hey, how was your day? How are you doing? I'm excited to have you here. I want you to relax. We're going to take you through the process. I like to make students feel comfortable. And if you've seen some of my content, and hopefully you have, you should be looking at it and subscribing. It will bring you value. I talk about that process of getting in the car, getting comfortable, getting the seat right. As you go up through segment one, segment two, and get ready for your road test, they're going to expect you to know this information. And you have to be successful to do your best work. You want someone who's considerate. Hey, I'm sorry that I'm late. Thank you for the prayers. I really need that. You want someone who's going to be considerate. Maybe you have to go pick up your child. Maybe you're on your way to your job and there's a time constraint. So I think the really good instructors, good testers, really make you feel good, make you feel safe, and are very considerate of you reaching your goal. and that goal is to become a good driver. That goal is to get your uh, license and then move on into adulthood. You want an instructor or road tester to show you what you're going to do. If you were doing a parallel park maneuver, I would get you out of the car, I would set up the cones, I would show you how to properly maneuver. This is what makes a good instructor great. This is what makes a great instructor elite because they have systems and processes in place to make you feel comfortable, right? And I want to help you get your license. I'll do everything I can to help you get your license. Um, Zoom phone call, Google Meets, because if you know that I care, you will follow, you'll do what you need, and that's why I'm here to help people learn how to drive. Um, they share those classroom stories. If you're coming in to take your road test, it's high anxiety, right? You're coming in off the street. You're nervous. Oh, I hope I get a nice tester. I hope they're not mean. Oh my God, the first three people failed. Am I going to fail next? There's all that self doubt, right? Good testers, good teachers. Hi, how are you? May I see your paperwork? I fill out the paperwork. I examine your car, making sure there's no cracked windshields, your headlights, taillights work. That smile means a lot. And this is a true smile. It's not a fake smile, right? It's from our heart. And that will put people at ease. You're still going to be nervous. Facts. You're going to be nervous. But you want to show the person consideration and be understanding. Good instructors on the road are very calm. They give you advice. Hey, I want you to get over to the right lane when you can. I can't tell you to look over your shoulder if you're taking a road test, but I should see you turn on your blinker, do that shoulder check. Shoulder still hurts. Do the shoulder check. Then, how do you know if you're ready to drive? If you've practiced about 30 days, right? If you're over 21, over 19, you have your TIP. If you can drive through the neighborhood, making good right turns. I'm sorry, I can't use my shoulder that much. You can turn hand over hand into the turn. You can look left and right before you pull out into traffic and cars aren't honking at you. Um, you're not super nervous, have a lot of anxiety, your foot shaking. Another indication, you can do multiple maneuvers. You can pull out in traffic, you can get over to the left lane, you can go up to the intersection, stop, and then make a left turn. You can do multiple maneuvers. That's another way that you're ready. You can bring your mom or dad. And mom or dad, they're different people. My dad, you're going too slow, boy, pep up. I was driving too slow. My mom, you're going too fast. It feels like I'm on a roller coaster. I can't win. But you got to be able to please your caregivers because they're the ones who are going to provide the car. Maybe they're the ones that are going to pay for the TIP in hopes, hey, I need you to get your license. We got a car for you in the garage, but you have to get a job. Um, you will get it because uh, you have chose to follow and subscribe to me. I'm giving you motivation. I'm giving you hope. I'm encouraging you. So if I was your older brother, I would say, listen, we're going to get you over to the Secretary of State. Okay? We're going to find your birth certificate. You got to take a vision test. You got to pass the knowledge test. We'll study. Then you got to get your TIP. Then I'm going to make time. If I'm your big brother, I'm going to make time after work. Come on, let's get out. Let's go around the neighborhood. Let's start the car up, get in, put on your seatbelt. Oh, you didn't adjust your mirrors. Hold on, there's a little girl behind us. You almost hit her. So you've got to educate people because just getting in a car can be, so you're supposed to drive, I would say medium. You don't want to drive too much of an emotional stress, but you don't want to be too mentally low because driving out in public, you have people going left, people going right, going fast, going slow. You need to focus on what you're doing. And until you actually get into the vehicle, you won't know what the process is. You've got to get comfortable. Practice getting in and out of the car, adjusting your seat, adjusting the mirrors, putting on your seatbelt, starting the vehicle, cutting it off. Practice steering hand over hand in, hand over hand out. Parking lots are really good areas to learn how to park in stall parking spots, angle parking spots. I bring my students there. Those are really good areas to learn. So you've got to practice, because when you go to take that test, it's a half an hour, it's 45 minutes. And they have a piece of paper and they're going to mark you. Either you pass or fail. And hopefully you pass through my tutelage, through my instruction, through my in-car, through my demonstration videos, through me and my practical practice, no pun intended, practical practice, helping you. And that's why I'm here. Um, they're a fun teacher. I always want to be a fun teacher and enjoy what I'm doing, right? Helping people get their license, turning in the paperwork, taking the test. Don't get me wrong, it is a lot of work, but it's fulfilling work. And when you see your tester or your teacher in a couple minutes, they should make you feel comfortable. And if they're nervous and screaming, and you're like, I don't know if I can do this. And everyone's a little bit different. They give you positive reinforcement. And remember, when you take your road test, they won't have a break in the car. The expectation is you're going to know how to drive. Don't go take your road test if you can't do parking maneuvers, if you can't reverse park into a driveway, you can't pull up to a curb 12 inches or less, you can't parallel park. So you ask me, um, Kay Jackson, how do I know I'm ready? If you can drive through the neighborhood, feeling safe, stopping at a stop sign, complete, no jerk, you look left, you look right, you look left, you use your blinker. If you can pull into a driveway, not sideways, pull in straight, then you put it in reverse. You look left, you look right. Don't trust your backup camera. Little kids. Parking, I take about a half an hour, 45 minutes to get my students comfortable. You want to go into a parking lot where those parking lines are nice and fresh and crispy. I'll put together a video on that. You always want to remind yourself and your students to do things correctly. That was a good merge. Okay, cars didn't have to reduce speed. That was a great parallel park. You pulled up evenly. You reverse back. You turn the wheels all the way to the right. The rear goes on at an angle. The front swings out, then you turn back. That was a great parallel park. That was a really nice left turn. You pulled up into the middle of the intersection. You let cars go by. You yielded. When there was a gap, you made the turn right by the double yellow. Good turn. And once you have that positivity and that good instructor who's giving you those good vibes, you're going to have that muscle memory. I can tell within a couple of minutes if a student knows how to drive, because I've done this over 23 years. But I don't assume. I always have an open mind. I always want to learn more. I'm always searching for new resources to become a better teacher. And that's what good instructors, elite instructors do. They practice their craft over and over and over to get better. They constantly remind you to do things correctly. I'm taking my time to talk to you guys, to share with you what it's going to feel like on that road test. You're going to be nervous. Make sure your car is clean. Have the air conditioning on. Make sure you have about a quarter of a tank, half a tank of gas. You could get into construction or traffic. Smile. Even though you're going to be nervous, you will be sweating. Your heart will be pounding. Next, you want to fix your mistakes immediately. And if you're not sure of something, good road testers will tell you, okay, I need you to come up to the intersection, and when it's clear, make your turn. So you should already have in your mind what you need to do. And if you make a mistake, going a little too slow, they might warn you. Going a little too fast, they might say you got to slow down a little bit. Or some instructors, that's mark you down. You do pick your driving teacher. It depends on okay, let's pretend I have a business. I have 12 road testers. I advertise on YouTube and Google. And so, and as a business owner, I do road tests too, because I want to model that. I try to find the best road testers I can. And I have you, as the public, evaluate them. Were they nice to you? Did they dress properly? Did they have their proper shirt on? Did they scream at you? Were they patient with you? I want that feedback, because if I have good testers, You're going to enjoy it. You're going to tell your friends. If I have a bad tester or bad employees, it was terrible. I'm never going there again. And the failure rate is quite high. The parallel parking is tough. Parking maneuvers are very tough. Maybe you merged out and cut off a truck. The instructor had to turn the wheel. That could terminate the test. Okay? Any maneuver that could cause an accident is automatic termination. So, bumping into a curb, you didn't yield for a pedestrian, you cut off a truck, you turned in the wrong lane and almost caught. Roads, road signs are always important. I really need to work on, showing you some road signs. The speed limit sign. You got to drive at near the speed limit. Um, Four-way stops, very confusing. The first car to get there is the first car to stop. They're going to tell you pull up. You should pull up right behind the stop line. You stop. Then you look left, right, left. The two cars come together at the same time. The car on the right has the right of way. If you're not sure, you can give the other driver the right of way. Okay? If this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up. They use their hands to show you where to look. I need you to look here. I need you to look there. Teaching you because I'm not your parent, I'm not your guardian, I am an instructor, I am a school teacher, but I live and breathe driving education. I live and breathe road test prep. So I'm very passionate about it. So you're going to hopefully get best practice. I don't know everything, but I'm consistent and I'm confident and I try to continue to elevate. Okay? As Deion Sanders would say, you either elevate or you terminate. I'm elevating. Okay, so they use their hands. Good instructors also make jokes and make you feel comfortable in the car. I remember when my daughter was taking the test, the tester offered her a piece of candy or gum. She's like, thank you. She was a little bit nervous. I was in the back too. I was nervous too. She went a little bit slow merging on the expressway, so she got marked down a little bit and looking over her shoulder. She then checked her shoulder, so she got a minus for that. She made good lane changes on the expressway. She drove pretty smoothly through neighborhoods. And I remember that experience, right? There's no awkward silence in the car. Good instructors, do you have to take the road test your first? Do you have to take the road test first? Then the driving test. It depends on how old you are. If you're over 21 or over 18, you got to get your TIP. You got to go to Secretary of State. You pay your fee. You take the test, the knowledge test. Once you pass the knowledge test, you get like a temporary permit for 30 days. You can keep renewing that until you feel comfortable. But you got to have someone who's going to take you out. You got to have someone who has a car, insurance, licensed, and if your mom and dad work or sister or brother are working, no one's home. And you're like, I'm home taking care of the kids, but I want to get mine. So you got to encourage your brother or sister, listen, I'll take care of my niece or nephew, your child. In return, when you come home after a couple hours, I'd like you to take me out. I want to learn how to drive, right? And most of your blood relatives will say, okay, or they'll say, no, you're not driving my car. And then you got to make a decision. You got to find a friend, someone who's in your age range, who knows how to drive. Can you take me out through the neighborhoods, please, so I can learn how to drive? And you start in the neighborhoods. You're not going on main streets, okay? You're making right turns. You're making left turns. You're turning in hand over hand. Good turn. You're looking. You stop. You really emphasize stopping and looking left, looking right. My arm and shoulder are getting numb because I don't have my sling on. If I have it on all day, it definitely gets stiff. So you want to have that type of relationship. That's what it feels like. Someone who's like your favorite cousin, right? They treat you like an adult. This is an adult responsibility. This is not for kids. If you're looking at my content, you are a young adult. You're preparing for your segment 2. You want to get a perspective from your instructor. Well, how come you can be like that instructor? Everyone is different. I enjoy it. I love teaching my students. They also talk to you and allow you to try to make things better. Can we do this maneuver again? If I have a student who's close, I'd like you to go around the block and make some more right turns. I want to see you parallel park. It won't be perfect, but if you can get us there, You're going to pass. Guys, ladies, I want to say thank you. If this brought you value, give it a thumbs up. Bye.